And that was the first time.
That was the first time.
That was the first time I was abducted by the alien. And after the third time, I really became friends with them. I really understood
What they needed me to do.
things were different. Life had changed. By the fifth time, they left me a device to communicate with them. They left me this. They called it the AW510K. And we're going to have a look at it today in another super cool unboxing. Alright, now that we've completed the dramatic intro, this is the AW510K or the Alienware 510K. This is the Cherry MX version. I'm not sure if there's another version of this keyboard with different switches or not. There probably is. I didn't actually buy this keyboard. It's actually not mine. This is actually my husband's keyboard because I got my new keyboard a few months ago. I got a refurbished Corsair, one with blue switches, which I love because I'm more of a typist. That's what I do 90% of the time versus gaming. He does a lot more gaming than I do. And right now he's using one of the Corsair ones. It's like technically it's a membrane keyboard, but it's not bad. It's not mechanical. We do have another mechanical keyboard that he could use, but it just lights up red. It's another Corsair one that has Cherry MX switches as well, but he just doesn't like the red light and wants, the colors and stuff. The current one that he has does do RGB, but, he wanted something white to go with his room and his desk, so, we'll just live with it for now. But I did steal it so I can unbox it because I'm a good husband. Let's get this peeled and open and see what's inside. It's funny, a good keyboard is like one of those things where you get and then after that, it's like you don't ever care about upgrading it again unless something happens to it. Like I'm extremely happy with my keyboard right now, so I found that perfect balance, which initially like the red switches were the first ones that I tried because that Corsair keyboard was the first mechanical keyboard that we bought, and I was like, oh, these are nice, but like typing wise, I was making so many more mistakes because they were so sensitive. The blues, you get that nice satisfying click and it's so precise with the typing. I just love them. That's out of the way. It has a little slip cover Von Gucci. This definitely looks a little bit more white if you look at it online. In person, I would say it's more of a gray color. Remember the episode of Rugrats where they thought the Aunt Miriam was an alien and they kept saying alien? It's kind of the color of her hair. I think that Aunt Miriam's hair inspired the keyboard. Aunt Miriam really was an alien. So other than the keyboard, what do you get in the box? There's this little pamphlet thing that is warranty information, and then a little card for the website. This is also not my room either, so if stuff gets thrown on the floor, I don't have to clean it up. So that's pretty much it. That's what comes in the box. Other than the keyboard, it's just that little warranty card. So let's just pop the plastic off of here. I know you guys want a nice satisfying peel experience, so we're gonna just get this peeled. Ooh. It's funny, I literally don't know anything about this keyboard going into it. Like, he was literally like, we're picking up a keyboard, and I was like, okay, I like it. So these are low profile switches. They're actually not too loud. It also has this scroll up here for I'm guessing it's like a volume thing. It's probably programmable, honestly, but I'm guessing it probably defaults to volume. It's solid. It's a thin keyboard, but it's actually solid. It has the feet at the bottom. It has a braided cable. This is the first time I've tried out like the low travel keys. It feels It's more travel than a laptop, but it feels closer to, like, it feels like if you try to put a mechanical keyboard on a laptop. I do have my old Corsair keyboard that we're no longer using here, the old strafe one that lights up red. So these are also Cherry MX switches. So from a volume standpoint, these are definitely a lot quieter. I found that space is usually, at least with the Corsair keyboards, that's all I'm really familiar with as far as mechanical. The space is always the loudest key. This is overall a much quieter keyboard. I mean, if you're trying to like bend this does have more flex than this, but again, this is supposed to be like a skinnier, low profile keyboard anyway. They both have a pass-through USB port on the back. That's why there's two ends to this cable, so you can plug something in, like a, you know, a USB peripheral, flash drive, a mouse, or something like that. If you want to plug it into the back of the keyboard, the port is right there. Not enough travel. It's weird. There's just something that feels off about it. I don't know why. And then there's certain elements of the keyboard that feel cheap. I think it's mainly, honestly, if I talk about certain elements, it's this little wheel thing here. This just feels like very plasticky. It doesn't feel like it's gonna really last that long. It feels very cheap. Keycaps also, I don't know if it's just the finish that they chose, but they just feel like, they feel how they look. They feel a little bit chalky. I wonder if these are, they look like they're etched, so I don't think they're gonna rub off. Material wise, I'd say it's definitely better than the Corsair one. This is like pretty much fully plastic, but it's a very sturdy plastic. There's nothing wrong with it being plastic. This one definitely, like, the board itself feels really good quality. It just feel like maybe the keys and this scrolly thing is not the best. Okay, so I'm tired of talking about the travel and this clickety clack and the fact that I'm not satisfied with the clickety clack. Let's just hook this up to a computer so we can all see what everybody came to see in the RGB and the light show, and everybody goes crazy. So let's do that. Let's do that. I'm leaving. Let's go. Let's do the RGB. All right, I'm back, and we've seen the RGB, and yes, due to the alien radiation, a lot of things have changed since the first part of the video, such as my face and my shirt and the location of where we're shooting at. But, you know, that's when you're dealing with alien technology, stuff like that happens. Now let's talk about the keyboard. So initially, you know, I was a bit put off by the non-clickiness and the shorter travel, but in using it, it's actually completely fine because it's still Cherry Red MX switches, so it's very responsive. It seems like it's a great keyboard for gaming. It's actually a little bit better at typing than the other Red keyboard that I've used, just because the travel is so much shorter. I found myself making less mistakes, but still more mistakes than me using my blue switches. It's a really comfortable keyboard as well, and I didn't like the chalky type texture on there, but it is really soft. It has a really soft touch to it, so it's overall a really comfortable keyboard. It's still a very gamer-centric keyboard, but it's a very nice-looking gamer-centric keyboard. And if you want to turn off the LEDs and just have, like, you know, a black and white keyboard, you can do that. And speaking of the LEDs, they look very nice. It does default to like a lighter blue, but you can turn it to white. It has all the modes that you expect in the software. Like, you could do static color, you can do breathe, strobe, where it kind of cycles through all of them. I'll quickly kind of show all of the different modes here. But it does do all that, you know, if you want to do like random colors, go through all the spectrum, you can do that as well. And then of course it has preset zones that you can customize. As far as the RGB software I've used, this is definitely one of the worst as far as customizability. The one thing I like about Corsair software, even though their software is not great either, but at least you can take your mouse and drag over a set of keys and you can set the colors for those keys. This has preset zones that you can set the colors for. Other than that, you have to individually set the color for each key. I didn't really see another way to select multiple keys, like, other than, you know, if you want to do like the numpad or the number row, those are preset zones. But like if I want to do half the keyboard is pink and half of it's blue, it seems like I had to go and individually select each key that I wanted in the software to be pink and save it and then do the same thing with the other half. So that part of it kind of sucks. Also, the little scroll volume control that I complained about at the beginning of the video still feels very cheap. Also, it's not customizable, at least in the software, so it's just set to value, just to kind of clear that up. I mean, it's fine. A lot of people don't use it. I talked to Jeff, and he said he's probably not going to use it anyway. So, you know, it's not like an immediate danger of breaking, but if there's something that I suspect would probably break first on the keyboard, it's definitely that volume scroll wheel thing. So overall, I believe Jeff paid $119 for the keyboard, and it's a really high quality. Aside from mainly that scroll wheel, it's a really good keyboard. If you want something that's low travel, that's quiet, but still super responsive for gaming and even for typing somewhat, even though it might not be the best for typing, this keyboard does the job, and in my opinion, it looks really good. Of course, it's a more, you know, gamer-centric keyboard, but it still looks really elegant. I really like the way that it looks. As far as me personally, I like having my long travel, and I like the satisfying click when it bottoms out. This is not, it's less of a click. It's more of a, like, they soften the impact. It's more of a mush. It's not completely mushy. It's not like a membrane keyboard, but it doesn't have the satisfying click that I like from using the mechanical keyboard, just because it's supposed to be quieter, which is completely fine. Like, if you want a quieter keyboard, but you still want the responsiveness of a mechanical keyboard, this is the keyboard to get. It is pretty quiet for a mechanical keyboard. But that's gonna bring this super cool unboxing to a close. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace. Huh. I wonder who else is an alien. I feel like it was more prevalent on Nickelodeon, especially like Miranda Cosgrove. She was probably an alien.